but everything exposed by the light becomes visible, unless they say you're judgmental.
Yeah,
That's it. That's
that
what stops
that's
13.
okay. That is way shorter. This one says, "But all things that are exposed are made manifest by the light, for whatever makes manifest is light."
Wow.
Yeah,
Good.
there you
So
go.
that's
Big difference
yeah.
there. Okay, and
But
this one.
that's my next verse, 13.
Okay, well then they divided it. This one divides at the word therefore he says. So they've divided it a little differently in there. Probably because when they do a translation and they have to get the words in there, sometimes a clause will fit on one side or another, and they'll say, well, we got to slide this in here just because of the way the translation is rendered. As long as it has it in there, then you're good.
Does your next one include the quotation?
Oh yes, absolutely.
All right,
Therefore,
well then,
yeah,
so,
it's
okay.
all there. It's just they had to number it a little differently because of the thought.
Interesting.
Yeah. So 513. The words of this verse are exactingly precise and are also very nuanced. Thus, scholars argue over the accurate intent of them. They are based on the surrounding verses, including the verse to come. And so the meaning can be more readily discerned when taken as a whole. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you from verse 8 through 14, and then we're going to take them as a whole. For you were once darkness, but now you are light in the Lord. Walk as children of light, for the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness, righteousness, and truth, finding out what is acceptable to the Lord. And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather expose them. For it is shameful even to speak of those things which are done by them in secret. Verse 13, but all things that are exposed are made manifest by the light, for whatever makes manifest is light. Okay, here we go. Paul is showing the contrast between light and darkness. We were once darkness, now we are light in the Lord. How did this come about? It was because the light of the Lord first shone on us. Because of that, our deeds were exposed. They were made manifest by the light. If we think of the parable of the tares from Matthew 13, we can get an idea of what is being said. The two plants, wheat and tares, grow up together and are almost indistinguishable. However, when the light shines on them, the tares are made manifest by the light. Now think of the scribes and Pharisees of Jesus' time. They walked among the people and were thought to be good and pious men. However, the light of Jesus' words about them brought their deeds to light. They were exposed for what they truly were. In context, Paul is saying the same thing to the believers in Ephesus about the deeds of the pagan world around them and from which they had been called. The light of the gospel shone on them, disclosing the true nature of who they were in relation to the holy God. We'll stop right there, and I'll say that if you go into, you're a missionary, and you go into a pagan place, Ray and Jess, they're over in Papua New Guinea. They're waiting for an assignment. They've had another setback, and boy, I know he just wants to get out there and start. But he's there, he's doing stuff, and people keep having problems, and because he's a good guy and he's a resourceful guy, he's the one that gets called to do things. And so, anyway, they're going eventually to go into their own area, and they're going to evangelize the people, and they're going to write a Bible translation of that local dialect. Okay, that's what's going to happen someday unless the Lord comes first. They're going to go into this area, and these people may have never heard anything about Jesus or what is proper living before, ever. And so he's going to go in there, and they are going to hear the word of God. And if they don't kill them and hang their heads on a post, which probably won't happen in today's world, but you never know, they are going to expose the deeds of darkness among those people. And those people are then going to realize what we're doing is wrong. God doesn't want us to do these things. And this has been repeated how many tens and hundreds of thousands of times throughout history as people have gone out and devoted their lives to telling people in parts of the world about the deeds of darkness.